Welcome back to Old Fox Racing PlayStation. Welcome back to Ruapuna Park. This is the McLaren P1 GTR. What a car it is. It's a PT. We are using this track for it. This is Ruapuna Park Grand Prix in New Zealand. This is qualifying for race 2. Diogo Silva again on pole. Simon Allen on the front row this time. Followed by Darren Head and Kev Allen. Stuart Brand with an excellent 5th place. Followed then by Scott Davely. As we now see the two championship leaders side by side, and that's a great start by Simon Allen, also a great start by Darren Head. And look at that, let's see, in turn 1 it's going to be tricky because, and Darren Head hit Simon Allen, and someone has spun behind them. We couldn't quite see who that was. It was all sorts of mayhem at the back, but the three leaders are absolutely unscathed into through turn 1. There is, this is the replay, and we are the chase camera with Frankie. Frankie is in 9th spot. This is Scott Davely there. Scott Davely, look at this, going to be a concertina effect. Yes, that was the yellow car of Kev Allen. And everyone pretty much, I'm trying to identify who's the yellow car that spun in the first place. Let's see, this is on board from Dale Taylor. Yes, that yellow car, I couldn't quite figure out who that is. And look at this, this is really the 96 there of Scott Davely is the main driver that has lost a lot of time. Look at this, they also kissing each other, not being able to reset. We couldn't quite see who that driver in the yellow car was, and that spin was what triggered the mayhem, and that spin was actually triggered by the fact that Darren Head and Simon Allen were, had a little bit of contact, but everyone at the front pretty much survived, unlike everyone at the back. I think the yellow car in question was, it wasn't Dale Taylor, because Dale, we didn't see him having a yellow car. Kev Allen, maybe, I don't know if he changed colors of his car between race 1 and race 2. Look at this, someone is actually running wide there. That is Scott Davely. Scott Davely not having the start of the race that he certainly wanted. He's dead last right now. He certainly has got a lot of work to do to recover some points from this race 2. He has been affected by that turn 1 incident, but now made another mistake. Dale Taylor is up to 10th, the other driver that has been very affected by the turn 1 incident. Diogo Silva is now under pressure from Darren Head. This is Kev Allen, and Kev Allen was the yellow car that span, and he's spinning again. Kev Allen has just confused us by changing the color of his car between races, and he was the car that was right behind the leaders and that spun and triggered that pile-up, which fortunately we don't run damage here in Old Fox Racing PlayStation. Kev Allen is now in 9th, not only because of that incident on the opening lap, but because he spun again on his own in turn 1, now on lap 2. So the drivers, Kev Allen, Dale Taylor and Scott Davely not having the really the start of the race that they wanted. Darren Head has not given up on 2nd place yet. Diogo Silva trying not to lose touch with Simon Allen. Simon making a good start after a poor start to race 1. Certainly he will want to try to win this race, and someone has actually gone straight there. That is that's Jumbo again lagging big time in this case, because it looked like he had just gone straight in the last corner when in fact he hadn't. Kev Allen then making a move on Simon Banter, or was it Dale Taylor? I think it was Dale Taylor. Oh no, it was Simon Banter. Simon actually lost a lot of time. After that, he's actually now in last place. We couldn't quite catch what has happened to Simon Banter, but maybe it was related to that battle with Kev Allen. We couldn't quite see a lot of contact, but maybe there was contact. We will not have a replay of that, unfortunately. Stuart Brand, we haven't seen him that much, and the driver in front of him is Jumbo, that is lagging terribly. In this case, I think it was a real off by Jumbo. Here comes Stuart Brand on the inside, and he's going to try to make the move here. He has done moves here before. Jumbo runs wide a little bit, and here comes Stuart Brand on a top 5 position again. It's still early stages, but a nice start of the race for Stuart Brand. Frankie is in 4th place. We couldn't quite see, but Frankie did a great job there, avoiding all the carnage in turn 1. So kudos to Frankie, because he was certainly the driver that has recovered the most positions by far in this race. Diogo Silva now making a small mistake there in turn 1. He's trying desperately not to lose contact with Simon Allen, but it's not really working out, because it's almost 2 seconds now between the two drivers, and we are still on lap 4. But certainly Diogo Silva cannot let Simon Allen disappear in the horizon, because that surely is not going to be the way to recover some points from the championship leader. Here is Diogo Silva at number 1 McLaren P1 GTR. We are on lap 4. Darren Head continues to be in 3rd. Frankie continues to be in 4th, 7 seconds from the leader, but still in 4th, and Stuart Brand is actually 3 seconds behind. Let's do a little bit of an update on drivers that are recovering through the field. That is Kev Allen now behind Chris Van Stanley. Chris Van Stanley did a very good job in race 1 with 7th place, could have been 5th. Now trying to defend 7th from Kev Allen. Nice there, a defensive driving a little bit to the inside. Oh, and Kev is going to make a bit of a nudge there. Kev Allen completely missed the breaking point, now loses time. And that's not the way to recover. Kev Allen still in 8th place in this race. End of lap 4, you are with Old Fox Racing PlayStation. This is Ruapuna Park Grand Prix in the McLaren P1 GTR. Certainly one of the weirdest combos ever chosen for this league in 2 years. And some drivers really voicing their opinion that this is not a suitable car for this track, but certainly we have seen a lot of very good driving and a little bit of bad driving, but so far it seems to be working more or less. Dale Taylor, is he? No, he's not upside down, he's not in the wrong direction. He was almost stopped, he's in 10th place. Something must have happened to him. He lost a position to Scott Davely. Scott is trying to recover from a nasty incident in turn 1 on the opening lap. Darren Head continues to put pressure on Diogo Silva, and I think that the race director is also informing us that Diogo Silva actually has 2 seconds penalty, so Darren Head is actually in 2nd place, and Diogo Silva is going to have to try to work very hard indeed, not only to lose touch with, look at this, he's lost a lot of time now, 4.6, 4.4 seconds. What has happened to Diogo Silva? I think he was slowing down to avoid another penalty, and it's just so easy to get penalties, especially running wide on corners. No problem for this man, Simon Allen, the championship leader. He's this is his 8th race of the season, and that could be his 6th win. Absolutely dominating the drives. Simon Allen, known in the past to make mistakes occasionally, has made absolutely no mistake through this summer championship. There he is, Kopenhagen 75. Simon Allen now with 3.6 seconds. Frankie, where he is in 4th place, but where is Stuart Brand? Stuart is 2 seconds behind Frankie. Here's the onboard with Frankie now in the last few corners of this Ruapuna circuit. Stuart Brand is recovering some ground there, so we could have a battle for 4th place very, very soon. He missed the breaking point a little bit, but managed to recover from it. End of lap 6 out of 14. We are approaching the midpoint of this race. Simon Allen continues to dominate, 4.4 seconds ahead of Diogo Silva. 3rd is Darren Head. 4th is Frankie. 5th is Stuart Brand. This is Scott Davely. Scott, we haven't seen too much of him, but he is still behind Kev Allen. Kev also not managing to recover very much from that start problem. End of lap no, this is end of lap 6. They are on lap 7. We haven't reached the midpoint yet. This is El Santo 333. That's Chris Van Stanley in 7th place. Continues to hold Kev Allen behind him, and Scott Davely as well. And Chris Van Stanley actually is not that far behind Jungle, so we could still have a battle here. We just seem to be following the field with various onboards. This is Stuart Brand, of course, still behind Frankie. So logically we would see an onboard of Frankie, but except that he runs wide now. This is Will this be the start of the battle for 4th place as Frankie makes a small mistake? He didn't lose that much time, now makes another small mistake, and of course when you do small mistakes followed by small mistakes, at some point it becomes a big mistake. And here comes now Stuart Brand. He will want to take that 4th position because he knows that there are drivers behind that could be a threat later on in the race. He certainly has made moves here in the approach to turn 1. Doesn't seem to be close enough to Frankie to make a move, but now he's going to be enough. Will he be brave? Yes, he's going for it. And can he brake on time? Yes is the answer. Nicely done there by Stuart Brand. He certainly seems to be a fan of turn 1 overtakes. Not many other drivers are doing them, but certainly Stuart Brand has made a few successful ones, and Kev Allen is yet to make a successful run on Chris Winstanley. Now let's see if he can do it this time round. Running a little bit wide there, but I think he just avoided the penalty. Now lost a bit of momentum, couldn't really make a move here on the inside of the hairpin, and now comes a succession of corners where overtaking is fairly challenging indeed. And Chris Winstanley just has to put his car in the right place, and he will hold the position. We are still on, we are the second half of this race now. Nicely done by Chris, defensive driving. Now I think that Kev probably would benefit from just following Chris Winstanley closely through this section here, this right-hander followed by the left-hander, and now plunging on the inside of Chris into the last corner. That seems to be what he's doing. He's almost side by side. Chris now tries to defend, but I think the breaking point is for Kev Allen, and nicely done there. Nice camera shot as well. Well, Kev Allen up into 7th place, but now he's got to defend from Chris Winstanley that is going to make a move into turn 1. Certainly seems to be having with more momentum, and will these drivers manage to turn 1 without incident? Yes, almost a little bit of contact, but Kev Allen holds the position 7th. Where is Jumbo? Jumbo is 4 seconds ahead of him on the road. Scott Lavely is interested in also overtaking. Oh, and Kev Allen is in the gravel, and loses again the position to Chris Winstanley, and loses again the position to Scott Lavely. Disaster for Kev Allen that has worked so hard to recover, and every time he recovers a little bit something happens and he goes to the back again. Certainly not the greatest race by Kev Allen. He finished 2nd on the road, 3rd on the leaderboard. In race 1 collected a podium, but here not the same luck in race 2. Let's do a little bit of a check at the front what is happening. Simon Allen continues to dominate this race just like Diogo Silva did in race 1. The gap is 3.5 seconds. It's a little bit too high for Diogo Silva to make a challenge, especially considering that he's got a 2-second penalty. But here comes now Scott Lavely on Chris Winstanley, and he also seems to be a fan of moves in turn 1. Didn't quite work this time round, and a little bit of a nudge there at the exit of turn 1, and he's got some urgency because Kev Allen is really right behind him. So this is a three-way battle for 7th place, and now contact between Chris Winstanley and Scott Lavely. Scott slows down a little bit. Look at that now. Kev Allen is trying to go outside on the hairpin. This clearly is not going to be successful. Now a bit of a nudge there by Chris Winstanley. Now Chris Winstanley has actually nudged. Oh, and this is Scott Lavely parking his car, and Kev Allen has also reset. That looked a little bit naughty. I'm sure it wasn't intentional, but it was quite funny indeed, because Chris Winstanley seemed to have nudged the 2 drivers behind him into an off-track excursion that in Scott Lavely's case ended near a cemented area, which looked very, very solid indeed. Let's see where these drivers... Well, they are still 7th, 8th and 9th, but I suspect that they have lost a little bit of time there. Let's see, the gap between Chris Winstanley and Kev Allen is 3 seconds. And the gap behind Kev is 5 seconds. So Scott Lavely really, by parking his car next to that solid area, has lost a little bit of time as well. Darren had has not even up on Diogo Silva. Now, is the gap between these two drivers 2 seconds? It is exactly 2 seconds. So they are, as we speak, battling for second place, and Diogo will want, now that Simon Allen is in the lead, definitely Diogo Silva needs to finish in second place in this race to at least not lose points in this round. He won race 1, but Simon Allen managed to recover to second place, so the positions are inverted now, but certainly the best that Diogo Silva can hope right now, if Simon Allen does not make any mistake or has any problem, is to exit this round with the same points gap as he entered this round, which of course was the gap coming from round 3, because neither of these drivers participated in round 4. Now El Santo 333 is not under investigation by the stewards, but he is potentially under pressure from Kev Allen later on in this race. We are on lap 11, so 3 to go at the end of lap 11. Kev Allen will be a little bit more cautious, I think, in his approach to Chris Winstanley. Let's see how this is going to evolve. I'm quite curious. Certainly the outside of the hairpin is not the ideal location for an overtake, for sure. Well, Chris Winstanley now has run wide himself, and maybe he's about to receive a penalty. He may need to slow down. But Kev Allen now does not try on the hairpin. He will try perhaps in a more conservative location. Here is tricky. Chris makes a little bit of a defensive line now. Right there, a little bit contact between these two drivers again, and that's going to slow down Kev Allen and potentially help Chris Winstanley. Now, good exit there by Kev Allen, but Chris comes on the inside and defends the line. No, this is tricky to overtake here, especially. Oh, but Chris Winstanley actually outbrakes himself, and now Kev Allen is on the move again in 7th place. And this time he actually seems to open a gap that seems big enough to hold that position. We haven't seen what happened to Frankie, but he has lost positions to Stuart Brand and Jambo. Stuart Brand in an excellent 4th position. What is happening with the gap between Diogo Silva and Darren Head is now almost 3 seconds, so Diogo is on the verge of getting second place. No problems for Simon Allen. He's only had a couple of laps to go. 2.4 seconds. Diogo Silva is coming at him, but of course Diogo has a 2-second penalty, so I think this is a little bit too little too late to challenge, but he will want to put pressure on Simon Allen nonetheless. Darren Head also trying not to lose contact with this train of drivers. Stuart Brand in 4th place. Only a couple of laps to go now. Last corner for Stuart Brand. He opened a little bit of a nice gap of 8 seconds. Jambo is in 5th place. Another top 5 for Jambo this season in that number 36 McLaren P1 GTR. Very nicely decorated there with the blue, white and red. Frankie is in 6th spot, and he's going to start his last lap. Yes, he is going to start his last lap. Kev Allen is in 7th, and what is the gap to Frankie? It's 2 seconds. A little bit tricky to recover 2 seconds and make a move for Kev Allen. Scott Davely has had really a terrible race for the American driver with multiple incidents, and he's in 9th place. He's still going after Chris Winstanley, but this is the last lap, and here comes Simon Allen for another victory. It's going to be his 6th victory of the season. Diogo Silva in the end is less than 2 seconds behind, but Simon Allen takes the checkered flag. Diogo Silva is going to finish 2nd, I think. Let's see. Because he's got 2 seconds of penalties, but he seems to be able to hold on to 2nd place. Stuart Brand, another very good result indeed. 4th place. That has been an amazing race for Stuart. Jambo is a few seconds behind him in 5th, so let's follow. Yes, this is Jambo now in the last corner, and Frankie is going to take the checkered flag as well in 6th place. I believe that's his best finish of the season. Nicely done there for the American driver. And Kev Allen, after an eventful race in 7th, Chris Winstanley in 8th, Scott Lavely recovered a little bit to 9th, 10th was Dale Taylor, and 11th Simon Banter. And everyone that started the race finished the race. That's it. That's the Ruapuna round. That's the confirmation of the result. Diogo Silva does finish in 2nd place, and this is the classification of race 1 as well. There's the championship. Simon Allen, of course, leading from Diogo Silva and Kev Allen. See us next week.